Just one of them days. You know what?
Show me the money.
Diddy don't do jingles. That's what it is.
That's right.
Actually, did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
That was actually a really funny commercial. I got to say that was a hell of a lot better than last year's.
25 million, baby. 25 million.
You know what? Hey, either way, it was a good show. All right, so Show Me the Money Club. It's Wednesday, a little bit different today because, well, Valentine's was last night. Hopefully you spent time with your Valentines or were out driving, making some money, taking some dates out, and making that money. Either way, Show Me the Money Club today is on Wednesday, and we'll be back to the normal schedule on Tuesday tomorrow. Welcome, Sergio. How you doing today?
Doing great, man. You know what? I swear I didn't know what to do yesterday. I was lost. 3 o'clock comes. I go, I think I'm doing something at 3 o'clock. I was like, no, not today. I was a lost puppy yesterday. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, okay.
Like, oh my God, what am I doing? What do
I do? What do I do with all this time I have?
I actually got a text from Harry too. He's like, no Show Me the Money Club tonight. I'm like, look, I'm out with my wife. Yeah, it's Valentine's Day. We're doing it tomorrow.
Yeah, I got emails too. I got the people emailed this morning. I had like 3-4 emails saying, what happened to Show Me the Money? I go, but it's tomorrow, bro. We announced it last week. Don't you guys watch?
We said it a couple of times last week. So hopefully, but we will be back to our normal Tuesday schedule. We have a great show for you today. Let's get right into it. We have quite a bit going on. We have Jeff. UberJeep Arizona is his YouTube channel. He's going to be coming on in just a couple of minutes. He is in Phoenix. We're going to be talking about WMO. We're going to be talking about Super Bowl, how much he's made. We're going to be talking about some of the tips, tricks there that he was using to cash in this past week. So we're going to be talking to him for the first part of the show. Then we have some changes to the accept screen on Uber. The upfront fare screen is going to undergo a couple of changes. We have the screenshots we're going to share with you today. Then we're going to be talking about some of these surge issues that we're seeing. We're going to have a big call out today. So that's going to be interesting. So you want to make sure you're staying around for that. We have the Uber and Lyft earnings, 2 completely different earnings reports. I'm glad that I put my money into Uber, and I'm so mad that I didn't put a short on their stock on Lyft stock, because that would have been good, but I forgot about that. Oops. But we're gonna be talking about the earnings real quick. We're gonna be talking about Lyft taking back bonuses. Yeah, you might want to watch out when it comes to some of these bonuses. Grubhub getting rid of drivers for low acceptance rate. Colorado is the next state that is joining when it comes to driver protections and cracking down when it comes to pay transparency, when it comes to unfair deactivations. So it looks like more states are coming on board. Good to see that. Looks like it might be a state-by-state basis, but hey, hopefully that will help. We're also going to be talking about, Pittsburgh protest. Unfortunately, another Lyft driver was killed on the job. Retirees getting into the gig economy, some funny and feel-good stories to end out the show, especially with a heavy hitter just before that. So we got a jam-packed show. We're going to get right into it, but we want to thank today's sponsor first, LegalRideshare. Now, as a full-time gig driver, you may have had the unfortunate experience of being involved in an accident. This episode is brought to you by the lawyers at LegalRideshare. They've helped drivers like you put millions of dollars in their pockets for their car accident and injury claims. If you want to learn how, make sure you visit the link in the description below. Also, make sure to put their phone number in your phone in the event something is about to happen. So just open up the description there and put their number in the event that something does happen. Not only that, make sure you get a dash cam if you don't have one already, because it's going to help. Brian has talked about that previously on Show Me the Money Club when he came on, talking about how important dash cams are when it comes to helping your case if you get into an accident, somebody who crashes into you, time off, different things like that. They can help put together an actual package for you to help get compensated. So again, link in the description below for LegalRideshare, and thanks to them for sponsoring today's episode. All right, let's get right into our guest, Jeff, also known as UberJeep Arizona, or AZ. Link is going to be in the description for him if you want to check out his channel. He keeps it real. He's got some great info. I love the energy. So welcome, Jeff. How's it going?
It's going pretty fine, Chris. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow.
I have to Hey, every once in a while, I gotta act corny, man. I got.
All right. No. Listen. I want to see the bags of money. Where are you hiding the bags of money?
Oh man, hey, the bags were out here this weekend, man. The bags was out here, and every time whenever I saw like all the black SUVs, I got happy because I knew it was money, man. It was just like, if you follow the black SUVs, you're gonna make money. That's all I kept saying, man.
Yeah, you know what? First of all, I've known Jeff for a while now, and I don't love him because of his hustle, obviously, but also, for how inspirational and positive he is, about this gig economy. I mean, look, he does it all. He eats, he delivers food. And when things slow, he knows how to pivot, right? He goes right, he goes left. One day zigged, he zags. And, he's figured it out. I mean, look, there's no free meal in this gig anymore, right? In 5, 6, 7 years ago, man, you could just go drive and make $50 an hour. You'll be all good. But now you got to squeeze all the dollars out of the system. So with that said,
hey, Serge, not to cut you off, but I think he was able to get a free meal this week. I think there was a free meal in there.
I got a couple of free meals.
Yeah, you got a couple. You got a couple. That's for sure. Yeah. So, well, first let's talk a little bit about your wild weekend, man. I mean,
oh man, it was nuts. Yeah. I started out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because I knew we had a lot of drivers in town. So the market changed. The police had everything blocked off. Everything was locked up. So drivers had to go out early to figure out what was going on. So I drove around Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on all different parts of town, just figuring out what was locked down, who had the bomb sniffing dogs. I had everything going on, man. So once Thursday hit and all the planes was landing, I stayed away from the airport because it was just way too packed. And I started hitting all the clubs and all the hotels where everybody was going. And I mean, I was banging out Thursday, $700. I think Friday, like over $800. I ended up in 4 days. After 4 days of driving, I had already hit. No, it was 3 days. The first 3 days, I had already hit like $2,500 in 3 days. The first 3. So I was like, something's going on. I'm like, this is crazy. So if I'm making that much money, the apps must be making at least like 3 times more. So I'm like, they must have been cleaning the house. And
this was the weekend that it was a win-win-win, right? I mean, the PACs didn't complain; they had the money to spend. The apps made the money, and you guys made the money. I mean, there's nothing to complain. I wish every day was like this, right? But dude, now
I couldn't complain.
Yeah, and tell me this first of all. I mean, you had 2 big events going on, not just Super Bowl, right? You had actually a bigger event, which is called the Waste Management Open, which is like 150,000 people go there.
Biggest party on the West Coast, man.
Yeah. So, but that's a yearly thing that happens in your town. But for the Super Bowl and that one to be combined is like, that's the tornado of all tornadoes right there, right?
It was the perfect storm for making money. And I tell everybody, Waste Management doing it for a while, so they had it figured out. The Waste Management had the perfect parking lot, the perfect traffic. They had everything. So if you had a Waste Management hit, you were going to get in, get your person, and get out. Super Bowl wasn't like that. So I did 0 stadium rides. I was getting $50 offers to the stadium. Decline. $45 offers for like 12 miles. Decline. Because I knew it just gave you the time there and the time back. It didn't give you the wait time. You would be sitting there for 35, 40 minutes. I'm like, I ain't going to that stadium. I was declining. I got screenshots, $50, $45, declining all of it. Because it was all to that stadium and they didn't have it figured out yet. Because I went out there one night and did a quick short and it showed all the cones and how everything was. Everybody was like, dude, it was a madhouse out there, man. And I knew it because I saw how it was set up. I was like, this ain't good. Something's just not looking good. So I stuck with Waste Management.
Well, while you're at it, tell me like, okay, you don't have to tell us exact numbers and get us all jealous, okay?
Oh, I got it on my channel already.
By the way, he has an amazing channel, UberJeepAZ on YouTube. Please, the link, the link is below. I give him some subs, and he does really, really good work there. The reason I like the channel is because he stays positive. He talks about negative stuff, but also, how you got to hustle and make the money. I mean, if, I call him, I actually offered him, he's funny as heck, by the way. So I offered him to be his agent, for us to go on, the Sunset Strip and hit all the,
next year we do it.
Comedy store, So like, we could make more money doing that when things are slow, Jeff. So it's like, I'm not driving at my house, no problem.
Man, that's funny. We can do it. Let's do it.
All right. So what was your overall take on it? Like maybe
overall,
the ballpark.
like even with the cash I was counting and everything, because I didn't count. I lose track of all the cash because people throw money at you all the time. So my app had about 3,500, and I had 3,300. I had about 3,600 total, like with all the cash and stuff I was counting. So I got about almost $200, $300 in tips, just in cash tips.
So you grossed what people gross or make, let's say, on a W-2 for a month into 4 days, right?
$3,600, man. Crazy, crazy.
That's your walk-in. So tell me, right? I mean, obviously, if you're a veteran, you followed strategy. You didn't fall for any of the BS, right?
Yep,
that's you decline garbage nonstop. Yep. But tell us a little bit about now what's good about the gig economy in your town, but in general, and what it affords you to do with your time and with your flexible schedule. Give us some preaching, because you're also a preacher. By the way, he's a preacher too. So.
I don't preach. No, but I tell everybody I was a corporate guy like you for 20 years. I was a corporate accountant, and I was in the office, and everybody used to say, dude, you do not seem like an accountant. You're way too personable, man. But doing Rideshare allows me to be me. I don't have to change for nobody. I can wake up in the morning, eat pancakes, knowing that I can go out and just be who I am, and I don't have to act, too straight or act too wild just to fit in. Whoever gets in, I fit in with them automatically. I kind of feed off of their energy. They tell me what music to listen to. We going through my little Spotify. We running, we having fun, $10 tip. I mean, it's like Rideshare is like life. You're dealing with real live people every day. And you deal with a couple crappy people, but it's rare. And sometimes people get in and they just having a bad day. And me being who I am, I kind of change that around it. And you see the appreciation on their face, the way they talk, the way they get out of the car. It's way different in Rideshare, dealing with them versus, dealing with a customer at Walmart or a customer at a store. You're dealing with somebody on a very, very personable level to where we're hearing real life stories from them. And I feed off of that. I like that. I like living like that. It's like it's true life, and I don't have to change and put on a suit no more and walk in and be like, the financial statements up to the I don't need to do that no more. I can just go and just get in my car. What's up, dog? Oh, and on that, check this out. So this is funny. So I'm sitting in the car. Now I got this guy in the back seat. His name's Josh. Now, Josh has been an executive in the NFL. Picked him up from the Tahoe Biltmore, and that's a really, really ritzy casino. He's been in the NFL for 15 years being an executive. And I mean, he's telling us all these stories about him and Robert Kraft and all these people, and he's just laughing and joking. He's in my backseat kicking it. So we're at the Tahoe Biltmore, all black SUVs around us with my little orange BMW sitting dead center. So we see Bryce Young. Bryce Young is the Heisman winner. He's like, what's up, Bryce? How you doing? Congrats on the Heisman, brother. Congrats. Bryce walks over to my little orange BMW, puts his head in, daps all of us up while we're in front of the Tahoe Biltmore. And he's like, man, you're going to get drafted. Don't worry about it, man. Everybody's looking at you, Bryce. You cool. He's like, oh, I appreciate that, brother. And I'm sitting there like, this is Bryce Young hanging in my BMW, man. This is crazy. But the guy in the back, and we're riding, and I'm taking him to the NFL house. They've been to the Sports Illustrated Maxim party. They're telling me about all these parties. And then his wife calls. So he's like, I need a minute. So I turn the radio down. His wife calls. He's like, okay. Well, just RSVP. Don't worry about it. He hung up. He was like, man, that's crazy. I just got an RSVP from the president of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's getting married. We're going to his wedding. So I'm like, who are these people in my backseat? I have no idea who these people are, but they were so cool. And it was like, they didn't view me as just some little cornball driver. We were laughing, having a good time. I was getting from point A to point B. They brought that energy to Arizona that we really needed in this state for Rideshare. Because a lot of Rideshare drivers have been down. We had a crazy slow January. I mean, I was driving 4 or 5 hours and calling it good. And we really needed that energy from all the fans, all the people that came out to Arizona. And it really boosted us and made us feel good about what we do. Aside from hearing all the negativity on the internet about drivers ain't worth nothing, you guys ain't worth crap, you guys. I mean, these people were just giving us money. Here's $50, $20, $50, paying for the rides, $200 rides. And they were having an amazing time. It was not about the money. It was the experience that we all shared over 4 or 5 days. Super Bowl, waste management, stories, parties, badass cars outside like Testarossa Ferraris out front. We lived that. For 5 days, we lived that. And nobody can take that from us. And that's why I love Rideshare. It's very different from working in corporate, because that's something that, I hung out. Another story I'll tell you. This is funny. So I go to the Sheraton and I pick these guys up at the Sheraton Hotel. Some guy, Austin. Cool. I see names all the time. Austin comes walking this way. Coming this way, Matt Leinart. quarterback, USC. So Matt Leinart jumps in my car, dog. Matt Leinart. And I'm sitting there like, holy shit, this is Matt Leinart. I didn't fan out on the dude, man, because I'm like, I'm a driver. You can't fan out and freak people out from getting in your car. So he gets in the car. We take off. We drive for about an hour. I got Matt Leinart in the back seat. And he's back there, man, I love Brady, man. Brady's my guy. He's cool, this and that. And he's talking about his little Fox show. And he's like, yeah, man, my show, this and that. And we're doing this year. We're going to set it up this year. He's talking about all his camps with the kids. And this is Matt Leinart. Check this out. So he's telling his buddy the story. And he's like, yeah, man, my brother-in-law or, step-brother-in-law, he offered me. He said, hey, man, Matt, we need you to come down, talk to the kids, kind of motivate them, inspire them. We'll give you $2,500. And Matt was like, dude, don't give me $2,500. Don't do me like that. Use that money for the kids. I'll do it for free. If you need me to come down and talk to the kids, I'll come do it for free. I don't need to be paid, on a kids program. And I'm like, that dude's pretty cool, man. Just the integrity of him. Because I would have took the $2,500. I would have been like, cool, I'll be there. This dude was like, nah, I'll come talk to the kids for free. Don't even stress it. I'll be there to talk to the kids. Keep the money. Do something else with the money. And that showed me like, these are superstars and they're so humble. Like the dude don't even look like a quarterback. He looks like the dude from Maroon 5. He just come walking with his leather jacket on. He looks like a rock star. He don't even look like a quarterback. Like you think a quarterback, big looking. He just a regular rock star looking dude like Adam Levine. He just jumps in the back seat. We cruise down to the golf course. He jumps out the car. He's like, Jimmy, talking to his buddy Jimmy out there. And he was talking about his wife, Josie, the whole time. He loves Josie, talking about when they used to date and everything. And I'm just driving down the highway, just like, this is Matt Leinart in my backseat. That's all I could keep thinking. It's like, I've seen this dude play so many years.
By making money though, right? I mean, look, you're having a ball, you're making money at the same time, right? And to me, it's like Matt Leinart did, right? The paying it forward, right? We tried to do that on our channels. You do it really well, and a few other channels that, look, we try to educate. We try to stop the stupid from being stupid by accepting garbage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, that's all we can do, right? And then and then spread the word. And
it
then
keeps our value up. When people stop accepting the low rides, because like I said, the time and the miles both matter. Because they offered me $50, and I was like, I know where that $50 is taking me. It's taking me to that stadium, and I'm going to end up getting an average of $25 an hour. It's like during Super Bowl, I'm not taking $25 an hour. That's not enough because I know I'm going to be stuck out there in Glendale, sitting in traffic, and it's going to take me 2 hours to get out there and get the people and get back for $50. It's not worth it. And you just got to know that. It's like the experience of you. A new person will see that go, ooh, $50. I've never seen $50. They don't get it. There's like your time and your miles matter. I don't care if it's for 12 miles. I know how much time it's going to take me to go that far. Just to go around that stadium and screw around in there is going to take me a whole 45 minutes. I'm not doing that. So a lot of people got caught up with that. And that's what happened. I went back to my New Year's Eve video and I told people in my New Year's Eve video, my first ride caught me up because I took somebody to a concert for New Year's Eve. And I sat there for almost an hour and I made $25. I was hot. I was mad because I fell victim of my own stupidity. And I was like, I knew I could have did better than that. So this time when they offered me twice the amount, I was like, nope, I already know what's.
I mean, but you know what? But look, you're a veteran, right? Yeah. You just said it, right? You just went back to your New Year's video and you learned. Not that you didn't know, you just made a mistake and you didn't repeat the mistake again, right?
Yep.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, a lot of people don't apply strategy, don't apply any of this, the 3 Ps, patience, position, planning, none of this. Well, all you successful drivers do the same thing. They apply the simple methods to rideshare. This is not rocket science. We're driving people around, for God's sakes, right?
It's business.
But then the difference between you guys, the top 1%ers and the bottom, is like huge. It's like 2x, 3x. And then they all go, how do you make that kind of money? That's a lie. You're not making that kind of money. I'm like, well, no, they are making that kind of money because they have a method to the madness. You know what I mean?
Yep. You've got to have, like a lot of people fall because the apps are smart. They've got really intelligent people working on these apps and they know human activities and human behavior. And they know if they put a big dollar amount or they put something on there, it's going to get somebody to bite. An intelligent driver, they know won't fall for it. So they're trying to get somebody who's less so they keep bringing in all these new drivers using these new tactics and stuff because they know the old experienced drivers are not falling for it. So they go, okay, we know these guys won't take the bait. let's bait some new drivers. And the new drivers take it, and that's what keeps these low fares in our systems. Yeah. The moment everybody stops taking these low fares, these low dollar 50 cents per mile fares, 60 cents per mile, that's worse than the old way. So you can't go backwards. We used to get like 65 cents a mile plus like $1 or $1 a mile, 65 cents, something crazy like that. But taking 50 cents a mile means you're driving for free. You're driving for negative money. It's going backwards. And a lot of the newer people don't realize that. Yeah,
negative money is coming up.
We got a story coming up in just a couple of in a little bit.
Negative money. Yeah, I get it, man. Y'all get it, man. It's like people.
But Jeff, I would love to have you on for the next 24 hours. I think you know what we should do. We should do like a telethon marathon live for like 24 hours.
Dude,
and then just put you in front of the camera and let you speak for 24 hours.
How about this? Have Harry do a panel. And fly us out somewhere. We're all together, and then
Arizona,
that way,
man. I'm telling you.
There you go, man. Arizona. I will just go camp out at Jeff's house.
Yes, we could do the panel right down on Scottsdale, where all the parties go. We'll do the panel at the club scene with everybody behind us while we're talking, and we'll tell people how. Because all those people use Rideshare all night.
And then we'll wear shirts saying, we have real jobs.
Exactly. We do this for fun.
Yeah. But look, I don't want to cut you off, but we're on a tight schedule. But I'll give you a couple of minutes to close. I know you're going to hang out a little bit longer with us, and then give your opinion on stuff that's going on. But give me a couple of minutes of why you do Rideshare, right? And I know you do it on your channel, so preach us about why you do Rideshare, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and where is it going to take you? I mean, you cannot do this for a lifelong, periods of time. So tell us what your plan Bs are, and give us a couple of minutes about that.
Well, the reason why I love Rideshare, different than like most people, because any job you have gonna have its ups and downs. I've had jobs I've hated before. There were days that I did not want to wake up to go to the office. Like literally, I was like, please, I just want to sleep another hour. With Rideshare, I cannot wait because I got a clean car sitting in the driveway. It's money in these streets, and I know I'm gonna get it. I just know that. It's something in me that says I'm gonna get money today. And I love that feeling of waking up knowing today's gonna be a lucrative day. And even if it kind of falls flat, I can like break down why it fell flat. I'm like, you know what? I was in the wrong area. I was this and that. I put it on me. Because if I can put all the issues on me, I control the situation. A lot of people want to put it elsewhere. So you're giving control to everybody else and everything else. I take full blame for my failures and my success in Rideshare. So I don't care if I have a bad day because I know it's all on me. Because I can have just as quickly have a good day. So only in Rideshare can you do that. You are in control of your destiny. The apps are not in control of your destiny. They'll try you and you'll fall for it, but you're in control of your destiny. So I tell a lot of new drivers and stuff like that, you're going to have some really hard days. Days you can look on my channel. I got days where I've hit $95 and called it good. I'll come to my garage and clean my car or something. Have a hobby. Have a mental outlet other than Rideshare. If you don't have a mental outlet, this job is going to drive you into the ground. So my mental outlet is working on my cars. And like I said, I used to own a shop. So after Rideshare, I can go back to working on cars for people. I could do that. I could build parts, design parts, whatever, try to sell a copyright, who knows. But Rideshare won't be forever, but it's really good for my mentality now because it just allows me to be me. I don't have to change for nobody. I don't have to be corporate. I just love just waking up and just being, if I'm done for the day after 2 hours, I just say, I think I'm done for the day. I made $150 in 2 hours. I'm going to call it good today. And that's just how this day go. I don't have to work a 10-hour day to be happy. I could work 4 hours and be like, I think I'm done for the day. I'm going home.
So with that said, look, man, with that said, I honestly, we will definitely have you on again, I'm sure, at some point. And anybody, please go to Jeff's channel, listen to his preaching.
There's some crazy stuff on there.
His preaching, he kept it clean today.
On purpose.
He's a little different there.
Hey, I tell people sometimes I cuss because cuss words is like adding spice to food. You got Thai food, Mexican food, then you got ice cream. Today was my ice cream day. I love Cold Stone. Now I might have a Mexican day later this week and go nuts and just put spice on it.
All right, thank you, man. Thanks for coming on. But so stick around because couple of these things are from your neighborhood. So
I like to hear. I want to hear this. I want to see.
You're about to see this stuff, so I will see your reaction.
Oh, let's see. Yeah. All right, let's go, Chris. What you got?
Right. Oh, yes. Well, thanks for coming on again. Yes, link is going to be in the description. So if you want to check out Jeff's channel, head over there, follow him, and it was we got a lot to cover right now, so we're on a little bit of a time crunch there when it comes to it. But thank you for coming on. Sharing your experience, especially when it comes to taking these bait rides and kind of differentiating. You probably, I mean, that's the whole thing. Same thing. I did one pickup from the Ralph Wilson Stadium. It's now Highmark Stadium for the Bills. Did one. Never again will I do that, because you're just sitting there and they closed down all the roads and all this stuff, and it wasn't worth it. So that $50 surge or the $50 bonus on top of the ride was not worth it in any way. So
like $25.
I follow the same things you do. Is there's many things else going on in the area where drivers are needed, because those rides aren't stopping. In fact, people who are getting out of the stadium, they're also stopping watching the game, so they're going to want to get home, go to the bars, or do whatever. So it's just, being smart and making those right decisions. So thanks for sharing that when it came to what you did, especially with these big events. Let's get right into our big topic right here, and that is upfront earnings screen is going to be changing a little bit. They're simplifying it. So these are a few screenshots, both from the actual requests and also Trip Radar. So you see the difference here?
What do you say? I see a huge difference now. What I say may not be accepted at the moment, but you guys have to think about this, okay? So the stuff I have on top of my head, decline garbage, right? So, and then we did like educational videos and series on education, blah, 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 all the non-ending educational shit, right? And then we even explained to you guys where to look, where to train your eyes, not just the dollar number. We said you have to add the, time to pick up, time to destination, miles to pick up, miles to destination, divide all this math you have to do in 8 seconds, okay? Or 10 seconds that Uber says it is. Now, it is all simple. It's right in front of you. You can decline garbage now so much easier, because they added the time.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, bro.
On the flip side, the good trips much faster as well too.
Absolutely. So they've added the pickup time. I mean, look, man, this is as simple as it gets, right? Now, a lot of veterans are going to say, this is not good for me, because I want to know how far the pickup is. Right? Because in the old ping screenshot, you had the time and distance to pick up. Well, a lot of drivers or veterans don't want to drive too far. Like, they don't want to drive 6 miles for a 2-mile ride, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the downside for us, the veterans, is that we can't kind of tell exactly what's involved here, but there is a map on top. There is where your GPS screen is. And there is that thing with an up arrow, okay? You can kind of tell, even like, look at the first screenshot, okay? Total of 3.6 miles. If that whole thing is 3.6 miles, right? From, pickup to drop off, okay? Well, I kind of know, I kind of gauge by looking at the map how far my pickup is. Unlike the fourth screenshot on the right. It says 14.1 miles for $8.50. Look how short the trip is between the up arrow and the down arrow, and where I am to get to the pickup. Well, that's a definite decline, right? So to me, now, Formica, we don't call them A's anymore. Formica has no excuse. Say, it's too fast. The ping is not long enough. I can't do the math. Hey, now you have no excuse to decline these goddamn trips.
Exactly.
No decline garbage.
The ones that make sense. You are able to see much easier now.
It is.
And that's 16, and that's like $17 an hour. 31 minutes, that's $17 an hour.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
as a private drive, that's crazy.
Not only that, but that the 30, because we're going to talk about the earnings in a little bit.
Yeah,
the both companies said, the drivers are making 35 an hour. I'm going like, no, look at these trips. How can you make 35 an hour looking at this stuff? You know what I mean?
They're probably talking about the average, which means some people are making 7 and some people are making like 60.
No. It's because they use a different term. They use utilized hour or active hour, not the time that you're online. So if let's say we went online from the moment that we started the show to the moment we end. To you, me, and the normal person, that is how you're going to find out if you want to do an hourly rate. Yeah. But what they do is they're like, oh, no. See, like you have different times when you're actually active. We're only considering you active when you're on the way to go pick somebody up and you have a butt in the car. Other than that, when you're sitting waiting for a ride, we don't count that. So that's how they get around it.
You know, I call it available.
Jeff, that's like the McDonald's, you know, that's like you telling your McDonald's cashier employee, right? We're only going to pay you when you're with a customer. But the other time you're standing around, we're not going to pay you.
Good analogy. Good analogy.
BS is that, right?
So see, that's why I call it available time. Like if I'm available to work with you and I'm logging on at 10 o'clock, I'm available to help to start working with you at 10 o'clock. If you don't give me a ride till 10:45, then I know you don't have the demand for a driver like me. So I'm not driving. It's like, I'm not doing one ride an hour. I'm not.
That's all fuzzy math. That's all active time, utilized time. It's all fuzzy math, right?
Exactly.
Because if we look at those, if you look at all those screenshots, it's very easy to figure out what active time is, right? The last one was $8 for 31 minutes. Okay.
Exactly.
Let's say this, Jeff and Chris. Let's say this. Okay. Uber math. Let's do the Uber math. Okay. How fuzzy this freaking math is. Okay. So 8:56. Let's say I accepted this. Okay. No problem. 30. I will never do it. Death. I will die before I accept this. But let's say I did. So 31 minutes. Okay. How about this? Right before you drop off, Uber gave you exactly the same ride. Okay. Now I was active for 31 minutes. Give me another 8:56. I was active for another 31 minutes. So that makes it a whole hour. You add 8:56 and 8:56, that's 17.
Yep.
Where's my 35? I was active for a whole hour. Where's my 35?
Not even close. Yep. Not even close.
So I'm going like, let's stop the fuzzy math, people. Okay.
And that's how they get a lot of these newer drivers, though. They newer drivers by saying, look, $13 for 30 minutes. Well, after that 30 minutes, they're going to turn around and give you one for $6.76, and you use like $7 worth of gas. So technically, you've made like less than $13 an hour driving your own car.
Yep. That's the fuzzy math. So this is coming to a lot of right, Chris? Didn't you say Joe has it in Minnesota as well?
Joe has it. Yeah. I don't have it in my area. I haven't seen it.
I don't have it.
Yeah.
Well, I think Jeff has it though. Do you have it? I think you have it, right?
I have that. Yeah.
You do? Okay. Well, it's good. Now, okay. So for all the Formica, last word. Now it's simple. Look at the miles. Look. It's all there for you.
Look at the minutes. Look at the minutes. Be quick.
Garbage.
I tell everybody, because I try to say I want to make at least $20 every 30 minutes. If I can make $20 every 30 minutes, I'm good. And so that means the miles won't really matter. Because if you can fit $20 within 30 minutes, I'm not driving a whole lot of miles.
Yep. Well, you're not going to make that with this.
No. You're going to decline. That's what I used to be 90% acceptance. I'm like 14% or something.
I think most people.
Dude, I went from 90 to 14. Yeah,
well,
I went from 90% to 14.
It's like it's coming up about acceptance rates. So that's going to be an interesting.
Yeah, we got a good one on that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about, one of the things that we kind of hit on when Sergio and I are talking about upfront fares is how they're changing base rates and base pay when there's surge attached. So if you have a large surge, they take that into account and they'll lower your base rate. Well, what happens when that base rate goes to zero or goes negative, which means you owe money to take that ride, and then you get a little bit of surge on top.
That's crazy.
I'm joking.
Boom.
Here's a couple of screenshots. So,
that's crazy.
So for the left screenshot, the upfront fare came out at $8.03 that you would make. But look at right underneath that, plus the $13 included for the surge. So where the hell is the other $5 coming from? Out of my pocket? Hell to the freaking no. No way.
Yep.
Uber, what are you doing here? You need to fix this, and you need to fix it now.
Well, some programmer right now is skimming some money. That's what I
something.
This is driving for charity. This is actually, we're paying Uber to drive now.
Oh yeah.
This is crazy.
I'm surprised it don't say negative 803 is the upfront fare.
Yeah.
Like, you're paying us $8 to go pick this person up.
That's a good one. It's just a negative 497.
Hold on. FTC, if you're watching, here you go. Whatever you're investigating, this you might want to look into right now, especially when it comes to them changing base rates and not keeping it.
And that's what they should put. Base rate -497. They should put that, and they should put the surge, and they say, so you're getting $8. They should put that. That's transparency. That would be full transparency.
Yeah, I used to joke about this a few months ago. I go, pretty soon we're gonna have to pay Uber to drive.
Yeah, you joked about it.
We're doing it. We're doing it, people. We're down to here. Look, when I first started, it was $1.40 a mile in LA and 40 cents a minute. Then before upfront, it was 60 cents a minute to 21 cents, 60 cents a mile, 21 cents a minute. Now we're driving for negative.
Roxy's got it right. And Diddy's getting the money. That's why.
There you go. Yeah, they paid for the commercial with this one.
man.
But here's the thing.
Jeff, the right one is from your back of the woods, bro. Phoenix to Scottsdale. Okay. $4.23 with $7 surge included. That's from the back of the woods. You're gonna get some of these now.
Oh wow, I ain't getting that now with no $7 included. No, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So where's that two? Here's the weird thing though. Like think about it. $2.77 if it was a base rate. If you take away that surge pricing for 14 minutes and 5.3 mile distance.
Yeah, in its own, that's bad enough.
and I'm gonna tell you, in Scottsdale, it's always surging. In Scottsdale, it's always surging because there's always events going on, dances going on, parties. It's always surging in Scottsdale. They're doing this. It's skimming. It's got to be skimming because usually any Scottsdale ride you take is going to be at least a double-digit number. You're not taking a $4 ride in Scottsdale. People up there driving Lamborghinis. They're not paying $4 for a ride. It's like Uber is like really getting people up there. They're getting drivers that don't know the difference. Because
you know who would accept. You know who are they doing this for? In the app there is a toggle on switch for auto accept. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you can actually auto accept, and like if you have auto accept on, because
you don't see
if you got like basic second grade math, you're not going to be taking this, right? But if the only people who are taking this is I'm on auto accept. I'm just going to accept everything, and Uber algo goes, oh look, this guy takes everything.
Wait,
let's send them some negative equity.
Hold on, our Formica that's watching this. Yeah. Would you actually accept these rides and think that's acceptable? Or is this well beyond the line that you would draw to? Because to me, this is well beyond the line. Like, here's the thing. The base pay for that ride should not be adjusting based on the surge price. The surge price should be in addition to whatever you are making for that particular ride. You should not be like, it should be $4.23 plus $7. So I should be seeing 11.23 right there. Same thing on the other side. I should see 803 plus 13, not this other crap where you're getting negative base rates.
Seriously, this is something that
I won't be driving.
I bet you they're doing this to test, right? To test what drivers are doing, because this is bullshit, right? I mean, besides
they're gonna call it a glitch. They're gonna say, it was a glitch in the app. It was a glitch in the algorithm. We're sorry. We didn't mean that. We had to resolve that issue. They know what they're doing.
Oh, no.
Like you said, it has to do with that auto accept. I guarantee it's that auto accept. Because when I first started years ago, I had to call Uber to ask, how do I get it turned off? Because I didn't know it was an auto accept on there. I was sitting in Mesa and I called them. I said, how do I turn this thing off where it keeps accepting all these trips all the time? They said, oh, that's auto accept. Go to this screen. I was like, never knew it. I learned that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and, this is unacceptable. Okay, so I mean, on its own, these two trips are unacceptable as they are. But look, we figured the game out pretty soon when the upfront came out, right? Because we figured high surge, low base, right, and no surge, high base, if whatever you want to call it. But this negative base, no, come on now, that's too much, man.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So we're paying to drive.
Well, we tried our best. Let's see if this flies.
The FTC, by all means, let's see what they got to say. But this is
also we make a snippet of this, Chris. We make a snippet of this. Let's send it to the FTC.
All right. But here's the other thing. This is actually there's something in Colorado. We did say that Colorado is the next state. We're going to go over this in a segment coming up. Not right now. We're actually going to dive into the Uber and Lyft earnings, two different reports coming out completely in just a moment. But, Colorado, one of the things that they're doing is looking at pay transparency when it comes to different drivers and what's going on in the road. So that is a good thing, because now we're going to hopefully actually see some breakdown and transparency when it comes to this. So we have a little bit better of an understanding. because right now that's absolutely ridiculous. Let's just put the base rates on there, and then Sergio, you and I were talking about this, texting back and forth when I sent you that screenshot with a $13 surge on an $8 ride.
Honestly, I thought it was Photoshopped because we get a lot of you get on Reddit and Reddit, UberPeople.net. There's a lot of Photoshop stuff there that goes on, so I kind of don't trust it. But this morning I got that one from Arizona in my DM in Twitter. He goes, "Serge, this is real. It's mine." And I know the guy. I go, "Damn, this is happening."
Yeah, that's a little ridiculous. So if this is glitched, you better fix it, Uber. You better fix it.
Chris, we know there is no glitches in the Uber system. There is intentional glitches, not unintentional.
Here's the thing, though. The base rate should not be adjusted based on the surge price. The surge price is in addition to anything that is coming on. This whole rate rebalancing bullshit needs to go away. I'm not going to take a long ride anymore based on rate rebalancing. I'm going to take short rides because that's the only way it's going to stay worth it.
I'm telling you this, Jeff, Chris, you guys are here. You're listening. You're my witnesses. All these things they're doing are geared for Formica.
Yep,
none of this is geared for a veteran, because as a veteran, I know exactly when and where it's going to surge, and I position myself there before the surge happens.
Yep.
Now that they go, oh, surge is in addition to that. So all that planning, all the strategy I did is for nothing, right? But for Formica, they go, oh, $7 surge. I'm like, oh, great, boom, let me take it. Oh, no, sir. It's supposed to be in addition. It's the reward for my hard work to position myself correctly.
Exactly.
And it's not when we take the ruler and then we go like this, because there's a surge, so we're gonna actually extend it out, but we're screwing with this. No, because
it's a trick for people. It's a trick for people who want to use their surge. Yeah, it's a trick for people who want to use that surge because they're scared to lose it. They're like, I got a $10 surge. I don't want to lose this surge. I got to take it on the next ride. Well, the next ride may be garbage. Don't take it on the next ride. Let it go. Just let it go.
And that's exactly what I was saying with Sergio. I said, because we were talking about the gamification of Uber and Lyft and gig apps with Vina's article. She's going to be coming on in a few weeks talking about that, but that plays into it. If you see a surge attached to it, I said, oh, now they're just going to throw out fake surge to make you think that you're going to be getting surge, so then you're going to accept the ride, and it's a game that they're going to play. And I'm like, oh, look, now it's fake surge. There's no real surge anymore because
it's the psychology of the it's the psychology behind it. Yep, it's the psychology of I don't want to lose this surge. I gotta accept this ride. I don't want to lose it. It's like no, it's garbage ride. Don't take it. Just know up front, don't take garbage rides and just leave it at that.
Yeah, and by the way, I did the interview with Steven, which was on our channel as of yesterday. And Steven, you did a great job. You got bags of money and came back to LA in one piece. He was telling me, and I'm sure you figured that out too, Jeff, that Lyft was capping the bonus or surge at $25.
I heard when he said that, and the moment he said that, I went to my phone and opened it. My top search is $25 on a lot of rides. I didn't realize that until Steven said
it. Bullshit, I call to that. There you go.
Dude, every one of my rides was capped out at $25. I've had $47 surges. He was right.
Look, it's the same thing with capping tips. If a passenger wants to tip $500, that should be allowed. Yeah. And they should not be putting any restrictions on that. It's up to the passenger what they want to do, because I've seen that, I've heard that. They cap it. Sometimes drivers want to put more. I've had rides that are like $350 that are base, and you get I'll have people hand me $20 cash tips, and they're saying, look, because the app does not allow me to tip the way it should, and this is a hell of a lot cheaper getting home than a DWI. I say, hey, thank you, have a great night. And these things shouldn't be happening. But
and I figured I got a video about how I use my business cards. Like, this is what I do. Like, I got, me, I'm always thinking ahead of the curve. So on my business cards, on each one of them, on the back of them, I've got my Cash App and my Venmo on the back. Wait, you can't hardly see it.
Yeah, we see it.
So if they don't want to tip me through the app, they can just tip me on my card. I'll be like, hey, here's my card. And it says that right on the back.
There's a businessman. There's a businessman right there. That's a businessman.
Guys, hold on. Drivers out there, here's one thing. You ever hear the saying, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile? This is exactly what they're doing. So do not allow that to happen. This is going to come down to all of us working together. when it comes to it. Do not give them an inch, because they're going to take a mile, and it's showing. If you're seeing negative base rates, that is insane.
I mean, if they're still in fares, they're still in tips. I mean, it's common sense. If they're still in fares, they're still in tips.
But you know what? Possible. You know what? I mean, we have the good, the bad, the ugly. I mean, if you're driving for negative rates, please, people. I mean, I understand mass challenged, all that good stuff, right?
They asking.
You can figure. This is like not even elementary school. This is first grade math. Yeah. It's like simple subtraction, bro. If the surge is 10 and the trip is for 5, you're -5.
Exactly.
Come on, man. This is not
even more than that, because you still got to calculate for the trip. So the trip has to be like 8, and saying you should be at $18. And they're giving you a $5 trip.
Don't work for free. Right. Please don't work for free.
No, we don't. But all right, we got to move on. I mean, yeah, that's definitely a fiery topic, but we'll keep you guys posted on that. If you guys see anything like that, make sure you send us screenshots so we can continue watching this, especially when it comes to it. But the biggest thing, if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile, and it's showing. So, all right, we're going to switch it up. We're going to be talking about the earnings report. Both Uber and Lyft have very, very different earnings reports that came out this past for this past quarter. And the funny thing is, I think it was episode 1 or 2 or something. We were talking about the big tree. Uber's the big tree, and then Lyft is the little tree that never got the sun. It's always just stunted and gross. Well, here's the exact thing right here. You see Uber's tree. It's big. It's beautiful. It's in the sun. It's feeling happy and it's good. And then you see that little dying tree right there called Lyft.
That's Charlie Brown.
Yeah. And this is, a couple weeks ago, we talked about Lyft going through a possible bankruptcy or being bought out, likely by 2024. This past earnings report probably confirms that a little bit when it comes down to it. Uber, they decided to take on a couple of things with Uber Eats, Connect, all these different avenues that they're trying to make money on. Lyft just decided to say, hey, we're going to be a one-trick pony, and we're going to stick to that. And you know what? Yeah, well,
Lyft does delivery though. I've had a couple of deliveries with Lyft, ironically. So they're trying to get into the delivery market. A lot of people just aren't using it. They just don't trust it.
They have a little bit, but they tried it. But beyond that, they decided to stick to one real trick, and that's really about it. And it might be their days may be numbered, especially with this past earnings report. So let's get into Uber's real quick.
Yeah, the delivery thing is too little, too late. They're just not gonna, not gonna happen. Yeah. So I listened to both conference calls. I'm gonna go real fast. Look, Uber's hitting in all cylinders, according to their CEOs. Let me tell you something. I dug deep with my professor friend Len Sherman on this for quite a while after we listened to the conference call. There is a lot of fuzzy math. If you understand, this accounting shenanigans that they're pulling, they use something called EBITDA, right? EBITDA means earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization. That does not exist in the real world, because if it existed in the real world, I'd be Brad Pitt sitting here, okay? So EBITDA, according to EBITDA, I'm like, Brad Pitt. It's not true. I don't look like Brad Pitt, and I never will. So to me, they pulled all the levers that's available to them, okay? They included some of their overseas investments. They made the revenues look good. The only thing that helped them is that they have cut incentives and quests and bonuses, as we all know, talked about in the past, quite drastically. And what they do is they put that in their sales and marketing expenses. So their sales and marketing expenses went down. Jeff, you know about these shenanigans that you can play when it comes to accounting and earnings.
Exactly.
And then what happened is that boosted their revenue because they paid out less, because there is shit ton of drivers out there. Everybody and their uncle is driving. So they don't have to put any quests because people are going to accept these trips anyway. Exactly. But again, they grew their business. Now they're almost at a 50-50 clip when it comes to between mobility, which is rideshare, and delivery. Their balance is good. That network effect they talk about, that the drivers can earn more on their platforms. They can drive, a little bit rideshare in the morning, switch to food delivery. When rideshare is slow, then back to rideshare, back to food delivery. The power of the platform is working for them. The other thing that they did wonderfully is they doubled their Uber One membership, which is their membership, which you don't get much out of it but it's $9.99 a month. And, they doubled it from 6 million subs to 12 million subs, which is amazing. The other two things that blew my head was, I thought they had reached scale, right? So they grew their MAUs, or MAUs mean monthly active users or monthly active paying customer base, another 11% to 132 million people. There's only 168 million adults in the US. So pretty much they have reached scale to the 75, 80% level. Everything they have done, according to their CEOs, was positive. And you know what? Look, stock did go up a little bit and then come back down again because Lyft was so horrible. But I studied the numbers. If you guys want to get deep into this, send me an email and I'll send you my response. But, CEO was beaming, CFO was beaming, strongest quarter ever, as you guys see in the middle screenshot, strongest year ever. Everything is wonderful. We have shit ton of drivers driving for us. And here's the number that blew my mind, okay? New milestone and hit 2 billion trips in a single quarter, averaging 1 million trips per hour.
How many times is that?
That's a trip, not dollars, bro. A trip, 1 million trips.
I know, 2 billion trips, but how many dimes is that out of the nickel and diming drivers and riders?
That again.
Well, you know what? If they do that negative equity thing, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. That's why I put money into Uber stock, and it's been going up.
Bro.
And then I was gonna put a short in for Lyft stock, and I completely forgot about that.
You should have done that.
And they just that
earnings could have made tons of money.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you should have. It
dropped
that.
like 30%.
Yeah.
Just like that too. It was so quick. It dropped. Yep. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Billions made.
This is kind of what we've been talking about. Uber has branched out into different things, as you can see in that tree. It's growing. It's big. It's luscious. It's green. And then
I'm going to use that for my background.
Next to it, it's fighting for everything, and it can't get nothing because it just doesn't know how to stand on its own 2 feet.
I'm telling you. Yeah. But the thing is, I drove Lyft all weekend. That's what cracks me up. Like, I drove Lyft because I was trying to drive Uber. And that's the thing about Uber. Uber's going to have a lot of lower tier platforms. Like Sergio said, that's their money. They don't want higher tier drivers. They want lower tier drivers. And that's why they don't allow us to put certain cars on their platform. So we have to go over to Lyft. So all the higher tier drivers are on Lyft, draining Lyft. Because all the lower platform drivers are on Uber, banking up Uber. It's like the inverse, which is probably why Uber does so well, because they're taking really nice cars, making them become basic cars. And especially if a driver can't get on Lyft, they got deactivated for whatever reason, they have to drive that really nice car on basic on Uber, because they won't let them go to the next level up. And that's where all their money is. It's like, it just,
you know what?
Sense.
Hold on. I got to interject something here. For everybody who's watching right now, there is something that we're trying to do on the Rideshare Guy. You may have seen it in a couple of posts on our community tab. It's Ask a CEO a question. We're actually going to try to take some of those questions and get them asked to the CEOs of these companies. So Lyft, Uber, Instacart, and Doordash. So head over to the community tab, put in your questions when it comes to these different CEOs. Any question you can ask. Obviously, some of the questions are not going to be looked at because you can't really necessarily ask people that, but or they're just not going to answer them based on the question itself. But by all means, try going over to the community tab there and put it in, whether it's to Uber CEO, Lyft CEO, to Instacart CEO, or to DoorDash's CEO. Instacart's post is going to come out tomorrow. So if you're on the shopping app and you want to ask a question, head over there and do that, because we're going to try to see if we can get some of these questions answered from those CEOs themselves. So make sure you guys do that.
Well, thank you, Carrot818. So here's the deal. This is directly from the conference call, and this is from Dara Koshashai's mouth. I'm just the messenger, okay? I don't want any hate mail tomorrow, okay? Okay, here it goes. Average drivers in the U.S. grossed $35 per active hour. They're on the platform, okay? That's his number.
Again, play on words.
Bullshit. Anyway, and then he said they have 5.4 million global drivers on the platforms. That's up 30%. We've been talking about this oversaturation, And then he would go say, oh, no, we need more drivers in Chicago. And then this report says the driver count is up 30%. Why? Economy is bad. People are struggling to make ends meet. They drive. That's it. Easiest way to make cash, right? A few $100 here and there. He said, due to that, surge levels are coming down to less than 20%. I'm like, no shit, because a lot of drivers, there's so much supply that you don't have to put the surge on anymore, right? And then that's why we see no surge even in LA for like sometimes the morning rush hour, which is shocking to me, right?
Yep.
And lastly, they said ETAs, pickup ETAs are down to 4.5 minutes. Now, if there was not 8 Lyft, 8 Uber drivers at every corner of every city, that 4.5 minutes wouldn't be happening. That also means Formica is not declining enough garbage.
There you go.
Formica is taking all the shit, and then their ETAs are down to 4.5 minutes. So there you go. That's the summary of Uber's platforms. That picture that Chris has should be downloadable, so you guys should do this on your cell phones as wallpaper.
Little Lyft.
With a sticker, bro.
Well, we talk about the good of Uber when it comes to their earnings report. Now let's look at the abysmal Lyft and the possible probable cause of them actually going to bankruptcy or being bought out or something, unless they do something drastic.
Yeah, and there's nothing happening, bro. This put the nail in the coffin. This put the nail in the coffin. I'm telling you, I'm convinced 30%. Now. I'm convinced by the end of this year, early 2024, Lyft is not going to be by itself. It's going to belong to someone, or something else has to happen.
Yep.
So they Lyft. I listened to Logan Green, John Zimmer, and Teresa Wu, which is their CFO. Bro, they tried to spin it. They came up with one excuse after the other one. So first of all, they said, well, we had to take adjustments on our insurance premiums. As we all know, period 3, Lyft and Uber have commercial insurance when the passenger is in the car. They said their underwriters are brutalizing them. They're charging them so much more money. So they took a $340 million write down because of insurance premiums going up. So I'm thinking now, what is it? All the shit drivers are on the Lyft platform and all the good drivers are on the Uber platform?
I'm telling you, that's how it's going, man.
No, I think they're all on the same on both platforms, and it's just one operates better and smarter than the other one. Considering the other one
Don't Lyft still allow like nicknames and crazy stuff like that on their passengers or whatever? Somebody still allows nicknames. I don't like that.
That's coming up.
That's coming up. Yeah.
Why is everything I say coming up? What the
hell? You're reading our minds, bro. You're reading our minds. I don't know.
Ran about drivers, and you got the same questions that other drivers have, and we just are on the same page. So
that means you guys are ahead of the curve, man. Y'all already know what we want to know. What do we want to know? We know.
Well, you have this.
Either way, when it comes down to it, Lyft, they got to do something drastic, and they got to do something drastic fast in order to continue on. Otherwise, they're going to drive it into the ground. And
see, I thought about this with the Lyft business platform. We have all of these millions of drivers driving every day. We're all playing music. If Lyft gets into the streaming music business and force us to stream music, they could be paid for the music that we make and as we drive. It's like we're driving millions of hours, and they should get into the streaming music business. I'm like, you know how much money they can make?
Well, here's the thing. Simply, Lyft could just put a music channel on Spotify, allow it to be on there, like Lyft driver music or something. And just have driver music.
It's money to be made in everything we do. There you go. Yep, just put Lyft Spotify and just select out of the genre you want on the Lyft Spotify channel, and Lyft can be paid millions times over for every driver playing Lyft Spotify, and give drivers like an incentive. For every hour you driving and you're on our channel, whatever, you get X amount of dollars at the end of the week. Man, I play Spotify anyways. I just leave it on Lyft Spotify all day.
Well, that may be coming. See, you may be ahead of Lyft as well. That may be coming because Uber also boasted that we talked about this a couple of months ago. They're starting advertising, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they gross $500 million, and that is a very profitable business on that. And I think they're going to grow immensely. So Lyft is trying to do the same thing. But how about this, Jeff? How about this offer? I become Lyft CEO, you become Lyft CFO, and Chris is the sales and marketing manager. And we all work for like couple of million a year instead of 20s and 30 millions, right?
Yep.
I think we can run the Lyft down to the ground as well as anybody.
Dude, I would drive a Bentley. I would drive a Bentley every day and pick people up in my Bentley. I drive around and be like, hey, they'd be like, wait a minute, this is a Bentley. What did I get? I'm on the basic platform.
we gotta do something. We can run these companies down as well as anybody. So there you go.
Well, exactly. I mean, I know they're still in their restructuring. But the thing is, it's like you got to do something, because if you don't, you're definitely not going to make it out on the other end. Exactly. They need to. The biggest thing is, Lyft, if you're watching, there's a couple of things you need to do here if you want to survive. You got to get out of following Uber. You can't be behind the innovator, be behind the innovator. You know, they innovate on a lot of different things. I will give them that. They innovate on different ideas. They use different things. And then you just kind of copy half-assedly at these things as well. You got to come up with your own ideas, your own thought process. There's a lot of great ideas that could potentially work if you played them out correctly. You're not doing that. The other thing too is
too late every time.
Yeah.
I mean, and the other thing too is, I mean, 2 billion trips. That's a lot of nickel and dimes that they're getting from passengers and riders, drivers, when it comes down to it. I mean, I didn't see how many trips they gave, that Lyft gave. But you got to get
a quarter, about 480 million, about a quarter of that.
So they got 480 million rides to 2 billion. So they've got.
It goes with market share, right? Uber has about 77% market share now, and Lyft is about 23% market share. One thing one analyst pushed John Zimmer with, and he couldn't dance around it, but then he said, and this is the biggest problem, and this is what I also see a negative for drivers coming up a little bit. You know, then it happened actually. You know, everybody complains, I'm getting all these $3 trips, right? This is what Uber did. Uber figured this out, that they have so many levers to pull. They said, okay, we're going to put the dagger in Lyft's heart one last time. So what Uber did, they started a price war in the middle of the last quarter, okay? So they lowered base fares. So that's why all you drivers are seeing 350s, 340s for ridiculous miles, okay? And instead of Lyft standing their ground, because they're losing market share anyway, they decided to compete with Uber, right? So Uber said 50% of our business is from deliveries. They increased their take rates on deliveries, and they lowered the take rates on the rideshare side. But they lowered the base fare, and Lyft fell for it. And Lyft said, oh, you priced it at $345, I'm going to price it at $344, right? And they got into a pissing race, to the race to zero, which nobody will win, right? So drivers suffered, obviously, because the rates are getting on these trips are garbage. And then Lyft definitely lost that battle, because Uber has so many levers to pull to kill Lyft, and they pulled it, and you know, the Lyft fell for it, and they did price pissing race.
Exactly.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Lyft, if you're watching this, I'm going to tell you something that you do not do in order to try to make profit. And that is right what we're talking about in our next segment. And that is Lyft. You're giving out some bonuses, but Lyft giveth, and Lyft has been takeneth. So, Sergio, why don't you take this one then?
Wait, 3,600 with 200 rides in 30 days? What? Is that the new stuff they got out now?
That is, when was this, Serge?
Sergio,
where'd Sergio go? He dropped out. Okay, so this is recent, yes. So LA drivers, you can earn $3,600 in guaranteed with 200 rides in 30 days.
That's LA, yeah. Because we don't have that in Phoenix. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
and this is why everybody's taking the bus fare rides. They're taking the $3.48 rides because they're trying to close out this 3,600, and that means
you know what?
Hey, experienced drivers, we're gone.
Hey, you know what though? Here's the thing. I just got a $1,200 guarantee for 60 rides. What do you think I did? I took all shorties on Lyft. Yep. all shorties. And then the best part, I coupled it with the streak bonuses that they were giving. I only went out during the times that they had streak bonuses. On top of that, I made the streak bonuses. I got a shit ton in the guarantee, and then I just said, okay, whatever. That ended last week. They gave me another one. I'm like, okay, I'll keep doing these bonuses if you keep giving me. That's fine.
They must be trying to make it look lucrative or something for people who are new, and then they just like drop the hammer on them, get them all to buy all of this stuff and invest in all these cars and invest in all of this stuff, and they just pull a rug from right up under and be like, "Oh, we're going to start back to zero again." It's like,
all right, Jeff, I got one question for you, real quick though. If you saw this $3,600 for the rides, would you do it? Would you jump on it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
200 rides in 30 days.
Absolutely.
In the winter time, summertime, winter, I could do it. I could do it in the winter. I could do it in the winter.
Let me tell you something. I would knock this out in less than 10 days. Okay, maybe in a week. Maybe in a week.
Probably. But hold on. Let's go into the opposite side of the other side after you give the 200 rides or after you hit the bonus. What's going on? And this is where Lyft do not do this to try to make back your money.
Yeah. Don't do that. So driving in style. Thank you for the super sticker. I got logged out for a second. So I got this letter from a Lyft driver, and it says, "When I tell you I'm furious, I really mean it." Well, obviously you do. The real reason Lyft took $700 from me is unknown, of course. When I called them, asked why they were doing this to me, they had no answer. I've sent plenty of emails and sent her, by the way, we have to do a segment on, since Lyft went to in-app chat only, the shit's it's just horrible right now, okay? I find it outrageous that they're accusing me of what I've done. And, this guy didn't do anything, but one morning he woke up, you guys will see it on the screenshots coming up, and he's got negative $700 in his account, believe it or not, Jeff. It says, I've been seeing a lot of comments pointing this to GPS spoofing. Okay, whoever knows that knows that. GPS spoofing is something, you put yourself where you're not, and then Lyft catches you and then takes all your money away, saying that you committed fraud. This guy, nothing close to it, right? I haven't done anything like that and have no idea how I would even attempt to. I do recall, though, seeing people located in impossible areas from the rider app. Yep, no shit.
Yep.
So I'm assuming now I got hit in the crossfire just for being near that area or something. I'm honestly not even sure. But surely they have something in their system that can track my driving habits properly. Yes, sir, they do. They know every inch of your traveling. And then it says, I've sent a few more emails to them, to their team. I'll update you. So far, nothing, right? Well, here you go. This guy woke up on a Monday morning and he saw negative 637 in his account. And you know what?
That's insane.
Look at all these trips that he did. Some of the examples, right? He $32.50 bonus, $26.50 bonus, $50 bonus, $15. All these surge trips. He did some Excels, mostly Excels. So this guy did what he's supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
So actually, his weekly gross was about $1,350, but then he cashed out, and the next morning he woke up, he saw a negative 637. Now it's got to work, and this is the email from Lyft he got. Your account has been flagged by our system due to a misuse of the Lyft platform. Bullshit, Lyft. There have been recent bonuses which have been flagged by our system and submitted for review, which they do on Uber as well. If you have like a $40, $50 surge, they will not pay you for like 72 hours. They have to figure out like, how did this guy get $40, $50 surge, right? Well,
$8.
After further $8. Yeah. After further review from our risk team, look at all these teams these people have, right? We will be deducting a total of $784.50 from future earnings. Please note, Lyft reserves the right to withhold a portion of bonuses or ride fares. So this guy did exactly what he's supposed to do. He didn't spoof his GPS. He didn't do anything illegal. And now he's in the hole for $700. John Zimmer, this is why you're losing drivers. Okay? You don't trust me. There may be a few bad apples in your system. I'll give you that. I'm not going to deny that. But good, hardworking drivers, when you do this to them, they will never drive for you again. They may take the hit once. They will never, ever drive for you. Here's the thing.
It says your future earnings. I wouldn't be on that platform again until that was taken care of.
Yep.
And until they owe me all that money back.
But I'm telling you what's screwed up with the Lyft app.
I'm not. I look. I didn't do any of that. You want to do that? You prove it to me that you were the ones who see that misuse. You prove it to me. You don't. Other than that, I ain't giving you the money back. I'm not going. I'm not hitting go online again. I'll go on Uber.
Chris, don't they have the GPS signal on each one of these trips, where it started, where it ended? Yeah. I mean, some people spoof their GPS and their trips start in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I understand. You have all the data. Represent it to the guy. I mean, hey, look, you picked up on top of a tree. That little tree that is not growing, not that tree. Another tree.
But I drive predominantly Lyft, and Lyft sends me messages all the time when I'm sitting right next to the pickup. They'll send me a message going, "Arriving too soon?" ? But I'm sitting right next to it. So I always click arrive anyway, passenger walk to me, because you have no other choice.
Yeah.
Because it'll say GPS connection issue, but there's no GPS. I'm sitting on the spot you told me to pick up, and it'll say arriving too soon. So I don't know where their system is showing my car. But on my phone, my car is sitting right where it should be sitting. So I just put passenger walk to me.
Case of arbitration for sure. 100%.
They do it all the time. Lyft does it all the time, man. It's every probably 4 trips I get arriving too soon. I'm like, customer walk to me. Like, no, I'm right where you told me to go. It's like, I'm not playing that game with y'all.
Yeah, I mean, Bear Claws has a great comment here. I think they're talking about spoofing to get surge. Yeah, they do that. There are a lot of few bad apples. They do that still. But Bear Claws, they stopped that on their system because they figure out your elevation now. Okay, I'm not going to say anything about me, but I had friends who did that. In LA, being as flat as it is, they used to spoof their GPS. And then if you're like at 300 above sea level, and then you're picking up at the same time, you look like you are at sea level. They figured it out and they deactivated all those drivers. They stole this guy's money, man. You have all the information. Look at the information. The risk team did not look at that information, obviously. Okay.
Dang.
Because this guy is like swearing. He goes, I talked to him. He goes, I swear I didn't do anything like that. I go, yeah, you just got caught in the crossfire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that is definitely something that you don't do. Like, they got to fix their system, because not only on that, it's the ETAs that are an issue too. So like, you see on a map on the request screen that comes in, it'll say 10 minutes to the pickup. When you actually do the map, it's like 14, 16 minutes away. Even the distance is wrong. So it's like, you got to fix your shit.
Yeah, get that a lot.
You got GPS issues. That's on you. That's not on me.
Yeah.
Like, why would I want to do that unless I'm actually where I'm at? Especially since they have.
I don't know Lyft. Like I said, I drive predominantly Lyft, and I don't know if their GPS signal is strong enough. But a lot of times, I'll show up to where the people are, and they're just walking away from me, like I'm not showing up. And I'll message them, and it says delivered, but they never message back. So I don't know what the deal is with the Lyft system. And I'll cancel, like I'll call them, it'll go to voicemail. I'll cancel, get the cancellation fee. I got tons of cancellation fees from that. I don't think their app is working. I just don't think it's working. Like something's wrong with it.
Yeah.
All right, we got to speed up these topics a little bit quicker because we are just pressed on a little bit of time. But let's move on to the next one. This is a Grubhub deactivating drivers now because of acceptance rate.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go. Let's go quick on this, Chris. Okay. Look, I'm working with Zach, who's one of our contributors, about this subject. He got 14 drivers within an hour of each other in Las Vegas who got deactivated for the exact same reason, which it says in the deactivation letter. It says Section 4. So him and I would dug deep, and then we tried to find what Section 4 is. Well, we found the last TOS. According to the TOS, this was on Twitter. This was a driver that reached out as well. And this guy's in San Antonio. So we discovered there's a purging going on of Grubhub drivers in Vegas, in Houston, and in San Antonio. Now, if anybody else is watching this after this or now, please email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com, if you're part of this purging, okay? So Section 4 we couldn't find on the latest TOS. Section 4 doesn't even exist, but all the deactivation letters that these drivers got says Section 4. You got deactivated for Section 4. Well, we figured out this gentleman here is, there you go, that's him. Pico, what's up, buddy? So we did something innovative, and Texas is, by the way, a single consent state. So, we contacted support and talked to an agent, and they said, "Oh, you're getting deactivated because of low acceptance rates."
What?
How do you like? Yeah. So now, if these scumbags are doing it, what's for Uber to change the TOS and put something in there quirky that nobody's going to read and people are going to get purged or deactivated right and left? if DoorDash does this, if Lyft does this, if Uber does this, Uber Eats, because now they can deactivate you for low AR. Low AR has never been a case for deactivation in any of the.
But the thing is, I think nobody can force you to do a job that you don't feel safe doing. If they give me a delivery and it's to a shady area at 2 o'clock in the morning and I don't want to go to that shady area, but if I decline it, then I'm going to get deactivated. That's not on me. That's on the area being shady and them not like vetting the areas where they have drivers go in certain parts of time. If I go, I get carjacked or I get robbed or something happens to me. That's on the app for forcing me to go there. And now if I say, hey, you forced me to go there, no, it was your choice. I didn't choose to be deactivated. I chose not to deliver that food in the shady area. You deactivated me, so you were forcing me. That's called fraud in the inducement. Fraud in the inducement is a legal term. When you induce someone through fraudulently saying, either you can do this delivery or if you don't want to, you can keep your job. But yet they fire you in the back end. So you end up getting a negative consequence through fraud in the inducement. And it's like, I'm not doing that because I don't feel safe doing it.
I mean, besides safety, Jeff, the AR is, to deactivate for low AR is illegal. You cannot do that. I believe so. And this definitely will be a part of a bigger deal. But we're working on this. We're gonna have more on this. And so people be on the lookout. Maybe, if you're a Grubhub driver and you get this letter saying Section 4, because of Section 4, you're gone, check your AR. Because I checked, the AR with all these drivers. Yeah, they had low ARs, but they had no cancellation rates. It wasn't because of canceling. It was just because of low acceptance rate.
Yeah.
So if Grubhub can do it, DoorDash can do it.
Drivers employees or are they independent contractors?
Yeah, you can't do that.
That's the question.
Because if they're independent contractors, you cannot do that. That is the whole reason why acceptance rate has never played a factor whether a driver gets deactivated or not.
Yeah, it's just an algorithm thing. It's what the algorithm chooses to send you. They base that on the acceptance rate. That's not based on our level of whether we can keep doing business with the apps or not. But now they're trying to make it seem that way, which, like I said, it be some shady air. A lot of us are night drivers. I start at 7 p.m. and I end at 5 a.m. I have rides all night, picking up people in warehouses, back alleyways near warehouses when they get off of work and they want to take a smoke break. I pick up some shady people in shady areas. I can decline when I feel like it. If I don't want to go to the warehouses down Buckeye, then I don't go to the warehouses down Buckeye. I might do it in the daytime, but I may not do it in the nighttime. I don't know what's back there. It's dark back there.
But now, if they bring this to the game, this is a game changer. And, we're working on it. We're going to follow up on this. If there is, again, any Grubhub drivers or, in our viewership or later on with the replays or podcast, please contact me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. Because I think it's illegal. I don't think you can deactivate anybody for low AR. And
I think so.
My question before we move on, when it comes to this, what about cancellation rates? Because cancellation rates are different. The reason why
the gentleman who is in the chat now, who that's his Twitter, Pico, right? He had 19% acceptance rate at the time of deactivation and 0% cancellation rate.
Wow.
Okay. So
none of these people had high cancellation rates. None of them. They all had low ARs because Grubhub keeps sending him garbage after garbage.
Yeah.
They all had low ARs. I'm going to give that to Grubhub, but you cannot deactivate an independent contractor for Grubhub. Some lawyer is going to watch this, and we're going to work with that. They're going to nail their asses on this because my concern is not Grubhub. Grubhub is like the little tree under DoorDash that's dying, right? With the way it comes to deliveries. I have Grubhub. I don't give a shit if I get deactivated by Grubhub. But the point is, if Grubhub does this, is it going to set a precedent for Uber Eats to do the same thing, for DoorDash to do the same thing, right? Because these companies, they all look at each other and go, "Oh, look, Grubhub is, deactivating a bunch of people."
It's got to be a legal precedent set for it. Yeah, it's got to be illegal because gig work is a new thing. It's something that just took off. All these apps are new. It's within the past generation. We didn't have this when we were kids, and we had to call taxis or we had to sleep in parking lots because we couldn't drive drunk. This is a new industry that has a lot of uncharted territory, and all of these are legal issues, and they're treating people like tools, not really humans. And if you're going to call me an independent contractor, then you got to look at the humanity behind me. If I'm an employee, you can kind of use me like a tool because I'm part of the company. I'm a company asset.
And
as an independent contractor, I'm not.
Yeah.
Pico, I would probably go in for a case of wrongful classification or something like that too. Because that's a treatment of employee versus a independent contractor. The whole thing is independent contractor.
To me, we'll end with this. It's very clear to me that they're purging. What they're doing is, all the smart drivers who are not accepting garbage, they're getting purged with one bullshit reason after the other, so they can replace them with some newbies who have no idea that what they're about to accept on Grubhub is garbage.
Yeah.
So, that's what they do. This is the game that they're playing. They get rid of the good ones, and then they install them with
the ones that
people who have no clue, so they can get those $2-3 orders delivered. So
exactly,
it's not going to work. Not here, Grubhub.
Low intelligence equals high profits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Well, let's move on to the next one, and that is the next state is looking at driver protections and something called paid transparency, which is going to be very interesting. Now, this is more on Uber and Lyft, should also be included with Grubhub and Doordash and Uber Eats and every single one of them. But yes, this is called Senate Bill 2398, require that companies like Uber and Lyft, as well as, I should have read the whole thing, in popular delivery services, show customers and drivers how much of the payment for a ride goes to the driver and how much the company itself takes before the customer can give a tip. So it's supposed to help with transparency on both customer and driver's side. And they're also going to include recourse for deactivated drivers right here. So it's something that is, kind of going around. Illinois has been talking about it. Minneapolis was talking about it before that. A handful of other cities, states are looking at different ordinances like this. So it's good to see more and more states kind of looking at things for, different driver protections when it comes to different transparencies, when it comes to protection just in general. And of course, the biggest one is something for deactivations and drivers who can, have a much better chance at getting back to it, especially when it comes to these fraud reports of a customer trying to get free food, free ride, whatever it might be.
Yeah, I mean, this is a model that's like really like a wildfire now in the country. We talked about this happening, in Minnesota. We talked about this not happening last week in Illinois. Now it's in Colorado. Look, this is a good thing, and this is actually almost a model without the rates, of course, that Seattle followed, right, and the state of Washington. I love all these protections drivers are getting, and Chris doesn't even notice because this was last second, Chris. You know where it says drivers and supporters of the measure rallied at Capitol Hill on Monday with Democratic bill sponsor Senator Robert Rodriguez of Denver and Representative Stephanie Vigil of Colorado Springs. Guess who's coming on as a guest in the next couple of weeks to our show? Stephanie Vigil. I booked her. I booked her already.
No way.
Yes way. And what's going to happen is that, guess what? She also had this article that we actually highlighted 2 weeks ago, I think, that she was a DoorDash driver. And
I saw that.
She wrote that article, and that's her. And now she's sponsoring this bill. Congrats, Stephanie. We're going to see her on Show Me the Money in a couple of weeks.
I'm going to ask her if she declined trash. I want to know if she declined trash. Did she take
right?
These
and
things?
Because she wrote the bill after being a driver for 2-3 years on DoorDash, she knows the shit inside out, right? All the games that they're playing,
especially DoorDash, man.
And the biggest, obviously,
nightmares about DoorDash.
Yeah, bro. and the last thing is currently Uber and Lyft will deactivate drivers because of complaint from a customer and not do a proper investigation. This leaves people extremely vulnerable. Hello. Lots of our drivers buy their cars specifically to do this. When they get deactivated, they are left in limbo. No, actually, they're left in the poorhouse with a repossessed car and no food on the table.
Exactly.
So, this is a good thing, people. I know everybody's going to say now, oh, we want to stay independent. We don't want the government to get involved. Hey, I don't either. But at some point, these companies need a good slap in the ass or the head or whatever that is to wake them up. Because look, man, they need a brake check. You know what I mean? This is the brake check that's happening.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the president needs to be said.
I think that kind of goes into some other things that are going on too. So like the Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I was sent this for the an email. Look, there was I'm going to call it a protest. You want to call it a strike, do whatever you want. There were about 100 drivers who did not accept trips from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then the next day they did the same thing. It's all about obviously low pay. It's about it's about safety, and which we're going to show a couple of drivers' pictures in a second. And look, this is also happening. I hope this takes a hold. And I just wanted to make a quick mention because I promised the gentleman that I'll show you a picture and I'll make a quick mention. Look, these protests have their spaces because they get this kind of, news clippings, and then they get into the news. But the fire that we need to build up as these channels who have substantial amount of subs is not going to happen by doing these things. It's going to happen by educating drivers. Because if we do not accept the trash, last time I checked, without drivers, any kind of gig economy would not exist, from delivery to rideshare. They need you guys. Autonomous vehicles, robots, it's all bullshit. None of that is going to happen next decade. What's going to happen is that, though, a lot of local legislatures like Colorado, Illinois, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and what state of Washington, New York City, right? We have to put a brake check to these companies because they want to have the cake and eat it too, and it's not going to happen like Grubhub is doing. They want to have the cake and eat it too. They want to call us IC, but fire me for something an employee would get fired for. Not going to work. Not going to work. At some point, we need to push back, and this is what I think a lot of these.
I think a lot of these app companies need to scale their level of pay to the areas that they're operating in, because New York pay is not going to be the same as somebody in the middle of Idaho. And you're paying these two people the exact same amounts. But it's like, it's expensive to live in LA, not in Idaho. So they got to find a way to scale things across the boards to make it, somebody in Idaho can afford to do it, but somebody in LA can also afford to do it. Because right now the LA people are drowning. And the people in Idaho are like, we're doing well. We don't have a problem. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's a great point.
In certain cities, these apps are not adjusting for it.
You know what? That's a great point, because there is a model that exists from pay to driver rights to about 80% of employment rights with staying independent contractors. That's one state that has the ball rolling and had it done. And it's been in the system for about a year and a half now, which is long enough time to say, is it a success or is it not a success? It's the state of Washington, specifically Seattle, city of Seattle, Tacoma, Bellingham, all the big cities. I want to have two drivers on to explain how life has been since they're getting $1.50 a mile, Jeff, and about $1.55 a mile and 65 cents a minute.
I can live off of that. I can live off of that in Arizona.
What do you think your acceptance rate will be if you had those rates?
90%.
Mine would be 95%. Yep. Yeah. There you go. There you go. So,
the only rides I wouldn't take are the scary rides at the warehouses at 3 a.m. Other than that, I'd accept every single ride. If you pay me that much,
bro, $1.60, $1.55 and 60 cents a minute. It's a no-brainer for me. Anytime.
Exactly. I'd be at 90%. I guarantee I'd be at 90%. 9 out of 10 rides I would take. 9 out of 10 every day.
Yeah, and this goes with what Dara said. He said 5.4 million drivers globally, up 30%. Well, I saw this article, which I think is appropriate. Look, a lot of people who are on Social Security, just like people who are on W-2s with real jobs. I'm like, no, there's no real
traditional jobs. Yeah, I call them traditional jobs because we got real jobs because I got real money in my bank account.
No shit, yeah. And now there, a lot of retirees are also coming into the gig world. And you know what? Hey, it's not enough money. Inflation is out of control. The government can control it. They got to make a few hundred extra bucks a week. Well, here you go, Dara. You accomplished it. Now you can abuse these people some more. On top of your Formica, you can abuse some older Formica. But
and see, the thing is, they don't like smart drivers because, like I said, last week I made like $3,600. I haven't drove my car since Sunday. It's been sitting there. I don't have to ask nobody if I could take off. They don't want smart drivers because we can just not. I haven't taken a person in that car in 4 days now, 4 days. And they want drivers out there. When we make money like that, we can afford to say, I need a couple of days to just mentally get myself back in the gym. I need to physically get my body back. I don't have to ask for an off day. We just take an off day. And it's like, they don't want that. They want the desperate driver, living check to check driver, can't budget their money and always on the road grinding out these bus fare rides. That's what they want because it keeps the investors happy. That money keeps in. Smart drivers do not make these investors happy. They just don't.
No, they don't want me, you, and Chris. They want all the Formica. I get that.
Exactly.
But, so on a sadder note, I put these up because this shouldn't be happening, but it's going to happen. It's society. So the gentleman on the left, Gary Levine, and he took a passenger in a Lyft, went to Okeechobee, Florida, from where he was at. He's 70 years old. Unfortunately, he got murdered. And the guy who was in his car was also already wanted for a murder. So, Look, this can happen to anywhere. I'm not saying these companies can do a lot about these things. Crime is crime. Crime is going to happen anywhere. But we just want to remember his name and show that. And 2 days ago, a 17 and an 18-year-old in Australia down under, and Adam, if you're watching, hi, how you doing? He got murdered driving Uber. So look, crime is crime. Crime can happen anywhere. My suggestion, you're on your own. If it looks fishy, pull over, run. That's it. Don't worry about the car. Don't worry about the life. All that is replaceable. Your life is not. Yeah. I know these companies can do a lot more about onboarding passengers and a lot of these things, but ultimately, as a rideshare driver, you're on your own. You got to watch your ass. And I'm not saying Gary didn't, and I'm not saying Scott didn't. Circumstances were there that they were at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people in the car. And, honestly, I don't know what these companies can do other than scrutinize the onboarding of passengers a lot more than they are doing it. Okay. So with that said, rest in peace to both of them. Our condolences to their families. And this is something that we're hearing a lot more these days. And it could be the economy, it could be whatever it is. But in Scott's case in Australia, 17 and an 18-year-old, bro, come on, bro. You have a whole life ahead of you. What the fuck?
And they don't even think about that, man. These kids don't think about it. They think, hey, this is an easy victim. We got somebody's car. We got somebody's watch. They think and they don't realize you're being recorded the whole time. The whole time you're probably being recorded and you don't even realize it. And you're making these dumb mistakes. And you're going to be sitting in prison like, why did I do that? Dang, that was stupid. Why did I do that?
It's a shame. So anyway, so we want to finish. You know what? We want to finish on an up note. Jeff, you're not here. Where the F are you, Jeff?
I'm right here.
All right. Not you, Jeff. Well, I have a new favorite for Micah. He's one of our contributors. He was one of our town hall meetings.
Okay.
And his name is Jeff, and he's writing for RSG now. And I love Jeff. Jeff, I love you. Don't. I'm just messing with you, especially if your wife is watching. So I know. So here's the deal, Chris. You want to do this, bro? Because
sure.
I don't want to do this because Jeff, is gonna say like, oh, Serge, you're kissing my ass because you call me all these names. I'm like, no.
I'll read it. Yeah. All right. So this is an email from Jeff, and I'm sure Sergio and I will probably.
He's here.
Oh, there he is.
Here, Captain, my captain. There you go, Jeff.
All right. Well, Jeff's kindness and service equals tips. And he does. He gets a good amount of tips when it comes down to his tip percentage. So he definitely does. And it comes down to him and his personality versus, just the average Joe Schmo who thinks that going out driving and only getting 20% is a good thing. So good morning. Hope you have a great week. How many reasons does a driver need to refuse or cancel? I'll count them. Yesterday, as my 12-hour clock was running out, I got a last ride that was short and nearby, but they canceled immediately. The next ride was first, 13 minutes away. And the reason cancel is the first, second, third. So that's what you're getting at. The first 13 minutes away. Second reason to cancel, the ride was 29 minutes in the opposite direction I wanted to go. Third, since it was 29 minutes, I knew I was going to get paid at least a couple of dollars less than what we were used to get paid. All right, Jeff, at least you know that. And if you're okay with taking that ride, well, hey, more power to you.
Exactly.
I took the ride, and as I drove there, I noticed a message from the rider. It said something like, fourth reason to cancel, need a big car for bags. Is that okay? I texted and asked how many people. The reply I got was the fifth reason. She's legally blind and has a cat. At that point, I was laughing, said yes, and kept going. As I pulled into the apartment complex, I immediately saw the sixth reason to cancel. A bunch of bags, laundry baskets, a stroller piled up on the sidewalk. I have a bigger van, so I backed in, looked at the pile, and knew I could fit it in. The woman, 29, greeted me with the seventh reason. You got more than you bargained for, comment. She was very nice as I loaded the van and told me her friend was going to help finish her move. She had to go to work. Believe it or not, she had trouble getting an Uber. I wonder why.
No wonder.
Exactly.
Jeff, I got to say, I would have probably just driven right by. You didn't. So, hey,
no, that's good. Jeff. Oh, he's eating dinner. Okay, don't choke on the chicken wings or anything.
All right. Well, on the way, she explained her parents were in New York. Number 8 reason would be that they ordered the ride, so the odds of a tip were small. Yeah, pretty much. Number 9 could have been that the cat litter box, but I figured I'd spray and air out the car. Number 10 was when, after telling me twice she just needed me to put everything on the sidewalk, she would take care of it. I found out it was on the 2nd floor. She was from New York, and being from Jersey, I knew at that point I was in the right place and I knew what I was going to do. When we arrived, it had just gotten dark, and although she had been there, she was legally blind and had trouble finding the apartment. Number 11 was when I realized the apartment was not next to the parking lot, but all the way around the building. I had to point her in the direction of the back of the building, and I told her I would bring her everything. Hold on a second.
How about it, Jeff? See that? Not Sunshine Man, Jeff. You, Jeff. See, you wouldn't do this, would you?
No. I got a BMW. I don't even fit 2 suitcases in that thing.
All right.
It was 6 or 7 trips up the stairs, and I kept the ride going for 15 to 20 minutes extra. She sincerely thanked me, offered me water, and I left. The 29-minute ride, 18 miles, was 55 minutes in the end. There was a small surge on the ride, and I hit my weekend goal by a few dollars. At that point, it didn't matter if I got a tip or not. The rider paid $24.11, and I received $19.57 of it. Uber lost out. I did make $2 less with upfront pricing. Halfway home, her parents tipped $45 for the ride. I'm not saying anyone should give a ride like this, but would I do the same thing again? Absolutely, even without the tip. There's no price on kindness we can provide, not just for riders, but anyone.
Way to go. Thank her parents.
Way to go,
great
Jeff.
Great people for taking care of that man.
Where you go, Jeff? Look at that.
Here's the thing. Some
$65
people
bucks. $65. Take that. All
a cat litter box
out there.
Yeah. Hopefully, it didn't hit the brakes too hard, and that cat litter box just fell over. I hope not.
Cat litter all in the car.
Oh God. I think it's the cat shit and piss that you got to worry about.
No. Let me tell you something. Jeff, you're my hero. Okay. 99 out of 100 drivers I know wouldn't do this on the second reason for cancellation, which was 29 minutes the other direction at the end of the day. Okay.
That means you got to come back.
Over shit, carrying the shit upstairs and downstairs, the cat litter box and the bags and the half blind girl, whatever. That's why Jeff is Jeff. Okay.
Uber driver of the year, man. I give it to you. Uber driver of the year already. You got it.
Yeah. Uber should get a hold of you.
Took care of you, man. That was cool. Yeah, man. That was real cool.
Hey, he's a contributor for the Rideshare guy. We picked the right people right here. Look at that. $65 for 54 minutes. Yes, the tip was not a guarantee, but you know what? He did it out of the goodwill and paid forward, Jeff.
That's it.
God bless you, man.
That's it, brother. That's it.
All right. So we got a couple of last things we're going to go through real quick. Next.
Yeah. Oh, remember. Okay. You know, Jeff, this is not you, Jeff, not the other Jeff. Jeff is eating dinner. So, I had Sachin Kansal, who's like a top exec at Uber. I interviewed him like 3 months ago, right? It's on the channel. So he says, we're going to do a purging of all the fake names and shit in the accounts or the passenger accounts on the platform. I go, okay, great. I see it when I believe it. Well, this freaking passenger doesn't even bother to put a goddamn fake name. He puts some bunch of emojis there, bro.
Cat people.
Let's see, a family cat lover.
Exactly.
That's her name.
I did send this to him, by the way. I go, what's happening with the purging?
Exactly.
I go, hey man, didn't even bother.
That's the whole thing. I even on Facebook and these different places, I'm still seeing people who are posting, all of these screenshots showing all of these fake names still going on. So I don't know what happened, but it needs to get taken care of.
This is Uber. I sent it. I sent it to him. He hasn't responded yet, so I don't know.
And I tell people like this: we do a lot in the daytime. Have a real name, because if we have to report a crime or be a witness at some, how do we say cat people was there? I'm telling you, cat people was right next to us.
Yeah,
that's like, I don't know their name. It was a cat emoji. That's who was with me. It's like,
and how do you like this name, Jeff? You like this one better? You like this name better?
Sleepy.
Oh, Joe
had Sleepy in the car.
I got Sleepy in the car.
I'm like, his real name's probably Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that one of the 7 dwarves? Sleepy? Was
that
exactly.
Sleepy,
yeah.
Wheezy.
Sleepy Joe, though.
I'm
like that's messed up.
Sachin, if you're watching this, Sachin. Okay, no, I know who's watching, Chris. We know who's watching, right? Can you please tell this to Sachin? I sent him an email. I thought these were gone. Okay, this was 3 months ago. It takes the computer like 8 seconds to purge all these names, bro. Come on now.
All right, we got one last thing to go over, guys, and this is going to be something. There's 190 people watching right now, at least at the current moment, and yeah, you're gonna like this part. All right, so
you take the left one, I take the right one.
All right. So, do you want me to do it in my special voice again? Or
yeah.
All right. Well, first, let's go over the left side. This says, after reviewing your account, I see other agents have already issued numerous payments for this type of concern. Basically, we tell you if you think the trip is not right, or let's say something happened and you had to go longer or shorter or whatever it was to fare adjust. Well, they say if you continue to request adjustments for trips, we may take further action, which may include permanently blocking your access to receive fare adjustments and using the Uber platform.
Bullshit.
Uber? I don't care.
I'm going to deactivate you for asking me what's rightfully yours.
Yeah. Look, if I have to drive 2 more feet, I'm putting in a fare adjustment.
It sounds like somebody's mom. He's like, I'm gonna smack you if you ask me one more time. Like, okay, sorry, mom. Just don't ask.
Bro, what the hell is going on in this world?
You can't ask a question? Jeez, you can't even ask. Like, hey, I think this is wrong. I'm gonna smack shit out of you. Don't you ask me? It's like, okay, sorry.
I mean, think about this, man.
Dude, that is funny. I love that, man. That is cool. I need to borrow that quote and put that somewhere.
All right. Well, let's do the agent chats. If you want to do
okay. Who are you? Am I the driver?
You're the driver, yeah.
Okay, I'm the driver. Okay, I'm the driver. All right. So Uber support connected to agent. This happens way too often.
Yes, when you cancel more trips, so this issue arises.
Well, maybe there shouldn't be so many bad paying trips. I can't fucking hold it together. So far away, I wouldn't cancel so much.
I understand your point. I will surely pass on the feedback to the concerned team. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
So, do I have to contact support after every trip I cancel to keep getting rides?
No, I've made the changes from our end. I request you to please don't cancel trips often.
I request better paying trips, but that's not happening, it seems like. Ha ha. So this guy, I figured out after he canceled a couple, he's getting throttled. Poor guy goes to Uber support, says, "Why are you guys basically throttling me?" and then Uber support says, "Well, then, goddamn it, don't cancel."
Man, that's funny. He's like, stop throttling if you quit canceling. I know it.
Don't cancel trips.
Yeah, don't cancel trips. And you know what? Before we go, everybody, thank you for watching. We need to look at that big tree, little tree one more time, please.
Hold on. I gotta go
that's
back.
funny. That's funny, man. I'm like, dude,
I'm telling you, if you don't send me like right after the stream ends, because I'm making them my wallpaper on my cell phone, on my computer.
Little Lyft cherry tree.
So go
Which
back
one
to
do
our
you drive for?
episode when we were talking about the analogy where Uber and Lyft are 2 separate companies, but Uber is the big tree and gets all the sunshine and is growing nice and strong. Lyft is the little dying tree that can't stand on its own because it's stuck in Uber's shadow.
Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Look like.
Okay, I'm gonna tweet this tomorrow. Okay, let's see what DK's reaction is, because he puts likes on my tweets once in a while, and people go, "Oh, you look, you're kissing Daryl's ass. He put a like on your tweet." I'm like, "No, bro, I have nothing to do with it."
Yeah, but then, here's the thing.
It's funny.
I get shit from every angle, bro. I'm like, what's going on here?
Serge, after he likes the tweet, then you got to tweet him, what's up with this negative base rate bullshit?
Oh yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll do this and then put one of the screenshots of the negative trips under it.
Yeah,
that's why the tree is growing. That's why the tree is growing.
I know, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
and
thanks,
then the
Jeff,
little
for
tree,
coming
John
on.
Zimmer.
Hey, I had a good time with y'all, man.
All right, man.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on, hanging out. We'll try to have you on soon again. Yeah, guys, make sure if you came in late, go back, watch the show. Audio podcast is going to be out tomorrow. We had quite a few different topics that we were talking about, some things that you really need to pay attention to and watch out on. And then just take note on, we got some really good topics already coming next week, some great guests coming on. So make sure you subscribe to ring that bell for notifications.
Yes.
Awesome. Just subscribe.
And
Great.
thumbs up, please. Thumbs up. Jeff, you're my man. You know.
Hey, I want to say one thing. I want to say one thing for my man, I Am Designs, who's in your comment. He left the best comment on the channel yesterday, on my channel. He said, when people like you, they want to see you win. That's what he said. Think about it. When people like you, they want to see you win. So the people that don't want to see you win don't like you anyways. Forget them. It's like
pretty much.
Jeff, you're my man. Thank you for coming on, bro. I appreciate it.
Brother. All good, brother.
And please, go sub to UberJeepAZ. He has an amazing channel, inspirational, positive, uplifting. Hey, he calls the shit the way it is, like we do. And you know what? That's the only way to do this. So otherwise, we go all crazy.
We have passion for families to succeed, and we use Rideshare to succeed. That's all. And we'll use something else to succeed later in life. But for right now, Rideshare is what we're doing to see families win. We just want families to win and fill up their refrigerators. We don't want nobody to see the back of their refrigerator. That's not what we want to do. Yep. So again, if you don't want to see people win, this is not it. Hey, thank you guys for having me, man. It was fun.
By the way, keep sending those emails, because without those emails and screenshots and all the funnies, we wouldn't have a show. Sergio at therideshareguy.com. Keep sending the good stuff, the bad stuff, all that stuff. Everything. Send everything.
Oh, yeah. Especially when I get those screenshots or texts from you saying, look at this.
And you look at this shit.
Garbage.
Look at this. Oh, and for Micah, please, now you have easy way to decline garbage. Please. It's super easy now.
Especially when you see surge included higher than what you're getting paid. Because that is absolutely not acceptable in any way, shape, or form. Even for Micah, it's not at all. All right. With that being said, again, thank you for watching. Obviously, today was a little bit different, with Valentine's Day being yesterday. So the show is normally on Tuesday. We will be back to Tuesday next week. Somebody has Indy, sorry you missed it. Just go back and rewatch it. We were hanging out, having a good time. So it'll be like you were live, even though not really. But yeah, you can go back, watch the replay. So, and then the audio podcast will be available tomorrow. We also have a giveaway coming up next week too, with a pretty cool product. So
I got it yesterday. It was pretty good.
Nice. I actually got it on a Monday, so I was testing it and trying it out.
I actually have a giveaway right now. I totally forgot. I put on my video yesterday. I told my boy King James I was gonna hook him up because I got something to give away. Hold up. I got a two-way camera for you, brother. It's 1080p. You can have this, man. It's brand new. I thought I was gonna use it in my car, but I don't like the way it sits. So I ordered it and I don't want it no more. All you need is the SD card for it. It's brand new. Instructions, everything's in the box. It's yours, King James. Next time I run into you, I'll have this in the car, man. It's the two-way camera, faces you and the traffic. It charges as you have it plugged in, so you can unplug it and walk around while you record with it too. So you don't have to have it plugged in all the time.
Body camera.
Oh yeah. Hey, this is it, man. This is for you, King James, man.
Paid forward. Paid forward. There you go.
Pay it forward, brother. That's it, man. Like I said, and we're a group of guys that want to see people win. So we're cool with sharing what we have with others. So that's what we don't do these giveaways to get more subs. We do them because we just sharing with the people around us. And that's how we do it. You share with the people around you. So I got you, brother. You got a free camera for Rideshare, man.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated.
All right.
Hit that like button and then leave all the comments below after the show. So see you all next week. Tuesday.
We'll see you guys next week.